Hey, welcome back to the channel, baby, and today we have another episode of Split Screen Gamers, just a couple of nerds talking about video games. What do we have on today's podcast? We have a reaction to the new Mafia Old Country trailer. We have GTA 6 delayed till May 2026. We have Xbox increasing all their prices for some reason, and we have Save File, where we talk about the games we've been playing recently and much more.
Your weekly power-up of video game news, updates, and industry buzz. From blockbuster releases and indie gems to hardware drops, studio shakeups, and everything in between, we break it all down. This is Split Screen Gamers.
Yo, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Yo, what's up, dudes?
Cheers. I know that I see Chris with the teacup, bro.
Yeah.
What you drinking, bro?
I'm a coffee guy, but close enough.
Shoot.
Oh yeah.
God,
I usually drink coffee when I say that too, so it's all good. Dude, we got a lot, man. This is our first episode. We have a lot of things we want to chat about. We're like a group of guys who's like, oh, let's start a podcast because we thought that was a good idea, right? But here we are, nonetheless. I really think mostly it's like, I want to chat with you guys because y'all are the homies. And honestly, there's a lot of gaming news that needs to be covered, dude. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world, and so that's what our plan is to do with this podcast, and also just be friends, talk about things that we like, and love being 30 and still playing video games. So, I mean,
29 still, 29. I'm approaching 30, so hey, it's right next door. So, but yeah. Oh man.
No, bro. Honestly, like I'm 29 too, and it's like, honestly, I start to understand slowly why when people turn 30, 31, 40, 50, they're like, yeah, I'm like 5 years younger, because now it feels like I'm getting into unk status, like I'm becoming an uncle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless of whether I have a nephew or not, it's like anytime I see a kid, it's like I feel like I should give them wise words of advice.
It's like, don't do
I
this.
need wise words first, though, is the problem. And then I'll pass it
Right.
down.
That's hilarious. You're like going up to 18-year-olds and you're like, hey, like you guys, what do you guys think about writing off these couple things for my taxes?
Yeah. What do you guys think about
funny.
taxes?
Yeah.
Well, dude, I'm excited to start this with you guys. Now, first we have, that they just released the Mafia 3, or is it 3? Actually, let's see.
It should,
4.
it should be 4 or
This is a first viewing for me. I've not seen this trailer.
ooh.
I saw the teaser.
Me
So
either.
yeah, first viewing on this. I'm super excited because I love Mafia.
Yep. Me too. I love that series.
Dude, I what's funny is I downloaded the last Mafia game about a year ago, and I played it, and I was like, yo, this is super repetitive, but in a good way. Like, it was so fun to do what the game tells you to do. And also, like, it had the underlying theme of, like, you get to kill the KKK, and who doesn't like that?
Yeah.
Right?
Always a win.
But,
Yep.
and I was just obliterating them. But I love that game, and it was my first time playing it. So this one, I mean, man, this looks incredible. So let's watch this new gameplay trailer. It's a gameplay trailer, too. Like, that's what we want right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's what we
Okay,
need.
dude.
Come in. Bravery is not common in this world, and so loyalty, honor, obedience.
Wow, that looks insane.
They set the man apart. God. You took care of Messina, but this matter
Dude,
is
what-
not yet resolved.
Look at the quality of lighting.
These graphics, dude. Holy cow.
Of course.
It almost like looks real.
Yeah. It reminds me of that new Indiana Jones game in their like graphics
Yes.
and stuff, dude. Which I've played, by the way. Let me tell you something.
Can't wait to set people on fire, bro.
Yeah,
My favorite
dude.
things
Yeah.
to do.
Dude, the driving mechanics.
look at that.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
And like the driving mechanics in Mafia are so like realistic. Like it feels like you're driving a car in a video game. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, it does. Jeez. This looks insane, bro. This trailer's crazy.
Yeah, dude. I just get Godfather Part 2 vibes, but on steroids.
It's like Godfather mixed with Red Dead mixed with Mafia.
Yep.
I was gonna say Red Dead vibes for sure.
Oh yeah, dude.
Mixed with actually, no, that's actually a great trio. I don't have anything else. That's incredible, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
Dude, I can't wait to pick
When's
that
come
up.
out?
August
August
8th?
8th?
Dude, soon. Holy cow. Or several months, but still, like, that's this year, so I'm all for it.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty crazy, bro.
Dude,
I'm not gonna hold you.
that's awesome.
Yo, so August 8th, man, that's a day one. That might be a day one pickup for me, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, truly.
Same here, dude.
On the PlayStation.
Same here.
PlayStation.
Holy.
Did they reveal the nature of the game yet? The story or anything?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's a good
Yeah,
question.
that's a good question.
Yeah, dude. That's a really good
I believe
question.
it's like the early 1900s is when it takes place.
Yeah,
It's early 1900s.
I think so.
We confirm that.
Let's see. I'm curious.
I got the lowdown if you want.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
let's go, Chris.
Game is based in Sicily in the 1900s in the fictional town of San Celeste, which was previously featured in Mafia 2. It is based around the origins of the Mafia. Narrative follows original protagonist Enzo Vada, journeys from a childhood of ventured labor in Sicily's sulfur mines to joining the Teresi crime family.
Okay. Heck yeah. Heck
Okay,
yeah.
sexy.
That's what's
That sounds
up.
dope.
Yeah,
what's up,
I love
dude.
the time period. Like, I love it. How far back in time they went.
Yeah,
I
dude.
feel like that felt like the necessary next step.
100%. And like,
Mafia 3.
yeah, dude. Like like that Sicily setting just reminds me of like Godfather Part 2. Whenever Vito Corleone is like going back to his like roots and stuff, it's pretty dope that they're doing that and whatnot. So, heck yeah, heck yeah.
I feel like the Mafia series is one of those series that kind of doesn't get the credit it deserves.
No.
Am I wrong on that?
No, it like only a few people that I know of, like you guys and like maybe a few other guys that I know like have played the series. But like if you're talking about like E3 era, and wow, E3 era, that's, you know, it's no longer around and
RIP.
stuff. RIP. Like it never got any spotlight over there, dudes. It never got like that presentation like other big like AAA games got and stuff. But like now it's kind of like inching up there a little bit, because I think this trailer, the first teaser trailer that was released, it was released during the Game Awards show, I believe, or it might have been Summerfest, but it was one or the other. But it's now like starting to become more in the mainstream, which I'm excited for and stuff, because I'm a big like Mafia guy. Like I like Mafia films and TV shows and stuff, and you know those kinds of plots that you get with those and whatnot. So
Right.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, dude. I feel like, I mean, look, dude, they're on game 4.
Yeah.
Like, what? How many game franchises get to game 4? So obviously there's a player base, but to me it feels like no one's ever like, yo, Mafia is coming out, right? Like no one's ever doing like you don't get the same reception that you get from like a God of War or Naughty Dog game, or definitely not a Rockstar game, or even like an Elden Ring or From Software game. Even though like Mafia it's a AAA title that has stood the test of time, bro. It's been around, you know. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Now this one I think is getting people interested because of its very strategic timeline in terms of promotional material, because it's coming out at a time in which AAA games are being questioned. They're being like, are we going to get those anymore? GTA 6 is like the biggest. It's like one of the biggest games is getting delayed. It's in the lineup at certain award shows and certain directs, that it's like the highest fidelity game that is in that lineup, and so people are just like, wait, Mafia, like I forgot about it, now I'm excited. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Mafia is interesting because like I feel like it was one of those franchises. Like I never originally played it when it came out, but it was like one that was always on my radar and was always hearing about it. And I didn't really get into it until they did the remaster of the first one. And that was like, honestly, my kind of introduction to it.
Yes, facts. Well, dude, I mean, I feel like that's, like I said, a day one for me. I really am excited to see when the first reviews come out. But to be honest, like these days I don't really trust reviews that much. It's more so like, but it's almost like, dude, games are going to go up to $70 and like I got to start looking at reviews. But anyways, yeah, man.
GTA 6. I know most of us like, or honestly, like a good percentage of the world have seen this new trailer and stuff. And thank God, because, the game got delayed, like, till next year and whatnot. And like people have been saying, like, it's like, man, when are they gonna like, announce like new things about it, like show gameplay or like talk about the story and the characters and whatnot. Like, when is that gonna happen? And like, we didn't hear anything for, I mean, like over a year and such, until like Rockstar. And you sent this message to me, David, on Instagram, which I totally miss. And funny enough, I sent it to like our group chat without realizing, oh, David already sent it to me and whatnot. So I was like, oh
Yeah.
snap, David, you sent this to me like in the wee hours in the morning, and I was like, oh snap. But
I got it sent to me. That's why someone sent it to me at like 1 a.m. or whenever it came out. Someone sent it to me, and I was like, "Yo, like I just woke up, bro."
oh yeah, dude, snap, holy cow, holy cow. So I saw that, and I was just like, I had a feeling that it was gonna get delayed because, like the previous things that I've like said is like, we haven't we haven't seen anything new from it. We haven't like had any other announcements from it or anything.
Right.
Rockstar's been pretty quiet, and I'm like, they're probably gonna delay this, which in history they've always delayed their games. Like GTA 5 had a delay, or Red Dead Redemption 2 had a delay. I mean, their games have always had delays, but this one's more massive because, like, it's a big game. It's cost $2 billion, and no developer or publisher wants to release their game around this, like a month prior and months after and whatnot. It's like an atomic bomb, bro, when this game releases. So, because I feel like it's gonna like eat up a lot of like people's time and
Oh, it
stuff
will. Yep.
whenever like it drops and whatnot. So I'm really excited for it. I mean, I'm a big Rockstar guy. I mean, I've talked about that company religiously. So I'm glad they're having the success that they have, and they're taking their time with their games and stuff, because back in the day they used to like release a game every like year or two and stuff. Now they only do it like every so often. So it's like, yeah, it's great. It's great, great, great. So
No, I agree with everything you said there, man. Here's the thing, like I'll give you the state of which it's so funny, the state in which the industry is like transitioning. Uh, I saw so it got delayed to May 2026, right? Which it was supposed to be this year at some point, and they delayed it an entire year, literally. And it's still not a confirmed release date. It's May 2026. It's a month, and so um, look, it's interesting because then they dropped that trailer right after, and then they dropped character analysis based off specific characters that they want to showcase, including the main characters from IGN, and they gave us a little tidbit. And I'll tell you the state. I went onto Instagram and I had already watched the trailer. I watched it here on the channel. You can go check that out. But I watched the trailer and then I went over to Instagram. I was just browsing and then I saw the trailer again, checked the comments, and I'm realizing GTA 5 came out in 2013,
yeah,
right?
Mhm.
It is 2025.
yep,
The GTA 6 is going to come out in 2026. It's like, look at the time it's been over 10 years. And the comments were all like, this is just a game. This is just a cinematic trailer. It's just rendered. It's not this and that. I want to see real gameplay footage. I feel like this is going to be a flop because they keep delaying it. I don't want another Cyberpunk. And what on the point that you just made, Chandler, the thing is, that is to me is a testament to the new age of gamers who aren't familiar with the company culture of Rockstar, because you are 100% on the nose with the idea that, look, they delayed every game. Rockstar never releases a gameplay trailer that looks like it always. If you go watch the GTA 5 trailer to this day, the one that released back in like 2012 or something,
yeah,
if you go watch that, like it looks just like the game.
yeah,
It looks just like it. That's never been their forte. With Red Dead Redemption, you go watch that trailer, it looks just like the game. So it just shows to me that like the players who are playing it are just kids who don't know Rockstar like that, which is okay. And they've been burned by other companies who release these Netflix short films,
yeah,
and then the game comes out and it looks like SpongeBob: A Blast from the Past or whatever that game's called, and it's like
yeah,
that's
yeah, like
that's
that.
why, yeah,
That's the
that's why
game.
they're upset. They don't get it, and they see Cyberpunk, and I'm like, yo, Rockstar, look, I want the game now, but when they delay something, when they put something out, a trailer, And I will say, I'm the first to say, I actually think that trailer was a little. I feel like they could have put something out. They got more stuff to put out. I feel like it was a little disappointing because I wanted more. But at the same time, it's Rockstar, so I know their reputation. When that game comes out, not only is it going to be an atomic bomb because the popularity of the previous game and that game was so successful, it's going to be an atomic bomb because we're watching the Christopher Nolans, the best game makers ever. That's what they are. Like, and the reason I say that, and I know that's a bold statement, but the reason I say that is because name a miss, name a
It's
mistake.
it's hard. I mean, if we're talking about their early years, like when they were first starting, yeah, there might have been like a game that they developed that wasn't well received or it sold poorly, but nowadays they're pretty flawless, which is a hard thing to do in this day and age with like just like the game industry and whatnot, and just developing these massive games, and especially when it's an open world, which I told you this, Dave. I don't know if I ever told you, Chris, but I think the best company to do open world is Rockstar. Like, and like, there's no what's ifs or what's, It's just like they're part of the best ones to do it, and like, yeah, there might be a glitch here and there, but it's never like super game breaking where the game just shuts off and whatnot. So, which I had that experience with Cyberpunk 2077 when it first released and stuff because, well, yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
we all know how that. We know how that went. Like
yeah,
2077. I mean, look, Rockstar will never put out anything like that because they've been around too long. And CD Projekt Red is a fairly new development company, so it's like I expect the corporate guys at top to go, we need to get this out and get some money. So I get it. But with Rockstar, you're not going to get that sauce. And look, the two largest controversies that Rockstar has ever dealt with, aside from the main nature of the content that they make satire games. Essentially, I always call them the South Park of video game industry
mm-hmm,
because they make satire games. Their games make fun of the current climate, good and bad. It makes fun of the goofballs who are liberal, the goofballs who are conservative, the goofballs who are addicted to social media. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
he makes fun of everybody in every. They make fun of everybody in every facet, and of course they're going to do the next game on a fictional recreation of Florida Vice City or Miami Vice City because first of all you have deep country, then you have deep you have Miami type vibes or Vice City, which is like you have different races involved, so they're going to make fun of that and have different types of characters. And then they have, obviously, you have extreme. It's a city based in one of the most southern. It is the most southern state that we have, so it's a city based in there. So then you have the city girls, the city boys, and people who are like a little bit more progressive than the people out. If you step out into the Everglades, who might have a MAGA hat on or whatever. It's like
yeah,
I love that. I get to go. I get to jump into the world of GTA and go, oh, everyone's the butt of the joke here. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's what they're known for. And so that's the controversy that they dealt with is because they've always pushed the limit. And South Park has the same type of controversy. But the other major one that they've had was they a couple years ago they got accused for some crunch culture, but then
mm-hmm,
that was they delayed the game, dude.
yeah,
Like what more can we do? Like what more do you want them to make their workers work to death, or do you want to wait a little bit longer for the best game, and one of the best games is probably going to be in our lifetime? Which
yeah,
one do you want? Like which one do you want? So I think Rockstar has a clean slate, and I cannot wait for this game, bro. What do you think, Chris?
yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think like the concept of games getting delayed. I don't think I fully will understand when people critique that because like there's obviously a reason they are, and it's for a good reason because they want to give you and produce the best game that they can. Even if you look at like The Last of Us 2, like look how much that got delayed, but look how beautiful looking of a game it is at the same time. So if they need to do that, then I'm always in favor of that. I think the thing about GTA 6 is like I wonder if they're also like going to be like their own worst enemy a little. I feel like anticipation for it is really, really high. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the level people expect of the game. At the end of the day, like, it's going to be Grand Theft Auto. It's going to do the Grand Theft Auto thing, run missions and stuff. Have an open world where you can do more, explore more, have a bigger map. I feel like each one they wanted to like do bigger and better. At the same time, it's like I don't know what everyone is fully expecting them to do.
Yeah.
Like it'll certainly revolutionize like graphics and open world concepts and how much you can explore. It's like I feel like at the same time the expectation of it is probably a bit too high, and I wonder if that's going to affect it when it does come out. Especially because it's been delayed so long and been wanted so long, and I wonder if they're worried about it a bit too. At the same time, I can't imagine how stressed they probably
Oh
must
my
have
gosh.
been
Yeah.
when they had to delay it this time. They're like, everyone's going to be so angry at
Yeah.
us.
Dude,
And I'm sure that's part of the reason they put out the trailer after the announcement was like, here's something to hold you over
Yeah.
for the next year. So yeah, I'm like, but if it is, and I'm sure it will be, a great game, not for story, for what you can do in the game, for the graphics. Either way, there's going to be amazing concepts in it. I wonder if that's also going to affect it, though, if people are expecting like this mountain and it's not quite there. It's more like here. This is still amazing and revolutionary, but like, is the anticipation they have for it going to like hurt it a bit too? So I'll be curious, especially as we get more news and more like, gameplay footage, especially too.
I think that's a valid concern, man.
Yeah.
I think that is true. Like, because the anticipation does cause, and I mean, I can't imagine like you said, I could not imagine the level of intensity in which they're operating, because they are really like it, like you said, Chandler. It's going to drop. It's an atomic bomb, so they're going to stop the world when that game comes out.
Yep.
And I mean, the closest, like this, this beats Star Wars. This beats Endgame.
Yep.
Avengers. Like, this is the biggest drop of entertainment the world will ever see. Truly.
Yep. Well, they say
truly
that
is.
video games sell more, and like the budgets for video games are much higher because of just the development of them and stuff. So they're more profitable than not video games. They're more profitable than movies, and they're also more profitable than like TV shows and stuff, because they are such, you can sell them at like $60 or $79.99 now and whatnot, and get your get your money back and whatnot. So yeah,
And also, though, it's an economy thing too, though. It's like people have to understand, like, it's such a big entertainment thing. It's like the people this is the impact of GTA 6. I have friends who don't play games at all. The extent of what they know about video games is they're an iPhone download of some sort of simulation game where they're farming. Like, that's the extent of which they play video games. And they're going, when GTA 6 comes out, I'm buying a PlayStation. That's what they're saying to me. I'm like, yeah, did you see the trailer? And they're like, yeah, bro, I can't wait to get my PlayStation when that comes out. That's what they're doing. That's what GTA 6 does. What else does it do? The actors who play in the GTA 6 will become actors, and they might not, it's all about the potential of the actor, but like, they will pick up other roles because of it. They will become wealthy because of it. The songs that are in the radios of GTA 6 become classics immediately, because people play so many hours of the game that they get used to the music, and then subconsciously they become a classic. I mean, I remember songs, the hood don't like because the hood don't love it. Like, I remember GTA 5, like, that's a song that I never listened to, and now it's stuck in my head forever, of Dr. Dre. Like,
for me,
you know
it's
what I mean?
it's like in Vice City, radio killed the radio star, or the
Radio
Rex
killed the
radio star.
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
I
that
used
one,
to
dude.
love that song.
Dude.
And so, like, that's what GTA 6 does. It is going to be when you said it right. It's an atomic bomb at the scale of international. That's what it is, and it's going to be insane. But yeah, look, everyone knows this. The game's delayed. I encourage people to be patient, because art trumps rapid pace releases, I think, in my opinion. The best movies take time, the best games take time, the best art takes time. So people, be patient. But I wanted to get you guys' thoughts before we transition. What was your favorite thing about that new trailer? Did you guys get a chance to check it out? What'd you like? What didn't you like?
Bro, I've watched that trailer so many times, man. Let me tell you something, dude. Like, when the first trailer came out, like about about a year ago and whatnot, the thing I liked the most from that trailer was the song that they use, because it's so catchy, and it's just like it's a great playlist song, and like just the way it's like cut and edited together. I'm like, this is a fantastic. It's like watching a movie or a TV show and stuff, man. In Florida, with this trailer, honestly, it's like just because they had to delay it for an entire year and such. I think my favorite thing about this trailer is that we actually get to know like the characters a little bit more and stuff and whatnot.
Lucia and Jason.
Yeah, which I saw I saw a funny little post on Facebook or Instagram where it says hashtag bring back like hot protagonists, because they're both like good looking people and whatnot and stuff in this game. They don't have like any like oversight with like, oh, she should look like this or he should look like that and whatnot. So it's like bring back hot protagonists in games, which I thought was funny. But I think another thing that I really liked about this trailer, and I think I sent it to Chris, but I think I sent it to you, David, but like the graphical fidelity of some of the like little animations that you don't think about, like the bubbles from like the bottle of beer and whatnot.
I saw that.
It's like crazy, and like there's some things that I didn't notice until I watched a YouTube video explaining like all the little details and whatnot, because I've been like a little obsessed about that, because there is so much graphical fidelity in this game. Is that whenever the dude's like working on his house and stuff and whatnot, and like he's all sweating and stuff, the back of his hair is wet, but the top part is like just normal, it's just dry. And I'm like, that's such like a small detail to add to the game, instead of like making his hair like just completely dry and his body sweating. There's like a blend between the two. I thought that was kind of cool and such. And there's like a bunch of other things that the game like shows in the trailer and whatnot, and people are speculating because Red Dead Redemption 2 had such like a mechanic where everything was very manual, where you didn't carry all your guns with you. You had to like go to your horse, pick out like what guns you wanted to bring with you and such to like a certain location and whatnot.
Which I love, by the way.
Yes,
it was by concept. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no,
by
you're
concept, good. By concept, I used to be like, that sounds cool because it's more realistic, but also sounds like less fun.
Yeah.
So I played the game and I was like, no, that's pretty fun.
It is. It's just creative too and such, and it makes it more like real and authentic, like you said. They're saying that it's going to be the same with like GTA 6, because like there's a shot where the couple gets something out of the trunk of their car, and like they're shown to have guns and stuff, and a lot of people are thinking like that's where you're going to put your weapons at and whatnot, in the back of like your car and such, which I think is cool. There's also somebody pointing this out, and if it's true, I mean, I put Rockstar above like Square Enix, everybody. It doesn't matter. They're saying that because Rockstar likes to like hint at certain mechanics in their games and such, which is the trunk one. But there's another one where apparently, like, how like in those games, like you can steal another person's car and drive away with it and such. Well, let's say you do that, and let's say you keep that car for a while, and let's say there's a key, and the key's the only way you can like turn on a car like normal and such. What if you lose that key and you can't drive that car anymore? Could you imagine that for a sec? Could you imagine that for a sec? Because there's a shot, and there's a shot in the trailer where the female protagonist, I don't know their names yet, I'm terrible with names. The female Lucia, thank you. Lucia like comes back from doing probation and such, and she throws her keys on the table and like falls with like her lover and such. And people are hinting, is that like a little tidbit of like keys are gonna play a part in the core like mechanics of the game and such. So if that's true, that's an incredible evolution of this franchise, because before you could just steal somebody's car, drive away, keep it, destroy it, whatever. Now you have to worry about the keys if you like miss them, or if they like you get shot and like they fall out of your pocket somehow. That would be insane if they could, if that is true. But we'll see. We'll have to see. So
Or if you're gonna have to like hotwire
yeah,
cars, like if that's gonna be,
dude.
I mean, can your skill in hot wiring grow too?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Oh, right.
Dude,
That'd be
yeah.
cool.
Dude.
the skill level concept.
That'd be
I don't
cool.
know.
Yeah, dude. I wonder if they'll actually do like skill trees this go around. I mean, they never really did that for any of their games. It's just like, you are who you are in the game, but I'm curious if they'll actually implement skill trees now. But we'll see. We'll see. That'd be cool if they do
Well,
that.
they did have that little. They had that little kind of. It wasn't robust at all, but they had the online GTA Online. GTA 5
Yeah.
Online had that you could gain muscle and strength and speed and stealth and all that stuff. But it was like you could easily max it out. It wasn't really applicable, to be honest, because everyone by a couple days of playing or a couple weeks of playing were like all, I guess, pretty much all Captain America
Yeah.
based on the game's metrics.
Yeah.
But
Right.
but they
Yeah.
they maybe they'll make it a little bit more like San Andreas, where you could actually. I think for me, it's cooler to see have characters who are muscular or overweight or skinny. I think that's kind of cool. On the basis that they went to the gym or something like that, I think that's really cool. I don't really care. To be honest, I don't really care about that stuff. But I think when I was a kid, I think the modern day kids would be like, yeah, my character's buff. You know what I mean? I think that's cool, and I think they're really good at doing stuff like that. I was gonna say that I know Chris and I are very big story people, and so we love Naughty Dog for that reason, and that's why Naughty Dog trumps everything for me. But because their stories are amazing. But Rockstar's giving them a run for their money.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2. First of all, you gotta. I said this on my reaction that I reacted on the channel. It was like, you got I mean, look, San Andreas. They've always had good stories. Like the stories always had twists and villains and this and that. But it's always been kind of like a little silly, and it had some like cool themes in it. But then you got to like Red Dead Redemption 1, and it was like, okay, cool. Like this is a dark, sad tragedy, very interesting. Deals with a lot of political stuff. A lot of it dealt with the turning of the Wild West and the kind of death of outlaws, right? And then GTA 5 came out, and they dealt with the betrayal between Trevor, Michael, and it was like, okay, cool, like this is interesting, it's deep. But then Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and I was like, the character development in that was like, it was like they refined it. It's like they refined how to make an open world game interesting, and I think that was solely to the idea that they gave a permanent trait to a character that's supposed to be invincible, which was what is it?
Tuberculosis.
True. Yeah.
Tuberculosis to Arthur in that game. They gave him a sickness, and he was dying, and it happened like mid game. And you were like, and I was like, that's not real though. But I was like, no, it's real. And so it's like they did this thing where they bridged the gap between, sometimes with what I think open world games do is that you go out into the open world, like for example, Master Chief. You go out into the open world and you slaughter everyone, and you're a beast and you're killing everybody. And then you go into the cutscenes, and then all of a sudden you're human, and like you're actually susceptible to these dangers within the world until the cutscene's over. And it's like, oh, my homie died, but he just killed 1,000 dudes in the last scene. And it's like, but what they did with Red Dead Redemption 2 was that they made Arthur, like they obviously you have to have a game, so like he still was doing stuff like that. But it was like, oh, like he feels like the world feels real because now he has a terminal illness that's incurable at this time. And like by the end of this game, I might not be able to have him anymore. And I've grown close to him as a gamer. And it's like they did that, and I wonder how they're going to apply things like that. And look, I know, like, we all create art, we're all filmmakers, and so I know that from the largest to the smallest details, Rockstar is considering it. And I know they're going, how do we as artists bridge the gap between the game and the story in a way that feels natural and fun?
Yeah.
And they're going to try to do that. They're thinking about those things. They are. And so that for me, this trailer showed that they're not abandoning the story. The story looks rich. It looks like Lucia and Jason are going to have an intense journey, and it's going to be filled with love, anger, hate, all these things, and it's going to be fun to watch and fun to play as them. Now, my only question, now that so for me that gets me excited. So my only question is how are they going to then one up themselves in
Yeah.
terms of gameplay and story combinations? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I feel, and I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think the key with like even Red Dead and with GTA especially, it's like there's like two main characters, or if you're looking at GTA 5, I would say there's three main characters, but the setting I feel like is always like fourth character or the second character, one of the main characters. Like the setting of the games is what's most important. Most of the time, like we all remember Liberty City and Vice City and San Andreas and
Yeah,
Los
that's so true.
Santos and San Fierro.
Mm-hmm.
So I really liked that about the trailer, like what they've done with Vice City, expanding it to like the Everglades and the city. Like it's obvious, we're starting out in the country with Jason, and as any GTA does, we're obviously going to progress more with like the criminal underworld in the city and get more money and move up in the world and see how that affects the characters and help us explore the world at the same time. And that's something I think, even if you're someone who like thinks like maybe this GTA story was kind of lacking, like I feel like the environments always contribute a lot, and
Yeah.
you can absolutely tell like the care they're putting into every detail within the world. And that, like, even if we're in the apartment, like they're thinking about bubbles in the glasses and stuff. Like obviously, world around us is going to be very thought out, and I think that'll help a lot. But yeah, at the same time, you want a good story too. You want good characters. I thought it was interesting that so in the first trailer they had Tom Petty. This one they had the Pointer Sisters, and both songs talk about like love being hard. Like it's about relationships.
Yeah.
Obviously, like there's a reason they picked these. Not even new songs either. Like older songs.
Yeah.
But it's like that's obviously what they're telling us is like it's going to be a story about the two of them, their relationship. Lucy is coming from prison, so I'm curious, like, is there some animosity between her and Jason because of that? How is that going to contribute? It looks like they're starting kind of low, bottom of the barrel with where they're at. Lucy has to do community service and stuff. So I'm curious, like, how that affects the two of them, and then as they're going to continue to rise and get more involved with like criminal stuff, how is that going to affect the two of them? So I feel like the core of the relationship is probably, I would guess, is going to be the main of the story. And I'm curious to see how much of Arthur Morgan can they bring out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like since I came after GTA 5, I'm curious if they're taking that idea and seeing how much Arthur meant to people and still does. You have to, at the end of the day, you have to make us care about who we're playing as, and want them to succeed.
Yep.
And if they're bad guys, it's like I want them to like succeed. I'm here with them. Like when you're playing a game, you're on the journey with them. Like you are them. So it's like it means just as much to you too. Like where we started and where we're going and where we wind up. Like want to care the entire journey, even if it's a tragic or a bittersweet journey. I still think that's what's most important, and you want your audience to care about why they're putting in 20, 30, 40 hours into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
100%, dude.
And so too long didn't read. Trailer looks great. You can see the work they're putting into it. Imagine what they will have for us in another year.
Ooh. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, and if it's anything like that GTA 5 gameplay trailer that came out that one time where they had that like woman voiceover that sounded like Siri. It was like, "Welcome to the world of Los Angeles."
Yep.
And it was like, you remember that? I remember when I watched that when I was junior in high school, and I was like, I went to school the next day thinking like, bro, I can't even pay attention right now. Like that was like the greatest thing.
Yeah.
So if they do something like that, man, that's gonna go make people go crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough of GTA 6. It's delayed till May 2026, and so we have no choice but to wait, right? And so, Chris, what do we got next on the list, baby boy? Let's do it. Let's hop into it.
Sorry, David. 1 second.
You're good, bro.
You
No
good,
worries.
buddy?
I wonder if Chandler should introduce this one. I feel like he might know it better. I do.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Yeah, dude.
Is that okay?
Yeah, no,
Here, 1
100%.
second. Let me add him.
Sorry.
For that. Sweet.
You're good.
I'm gonna redo that real fast just so I can introduce.
Sorry, I was thinking that before we get into it. I'm like, I think Chandler should probably. Would it be like, price is up? I don't, something like that.
Yeah.
We'll make a note next time. We'll make a note on like who we can do intros with, because I think that's a good point. Like if you know something about it, it's probably better.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I should have researched it more. That's on me too.
No, you're
Actually,
good,
look
bud.
outwards.
You're good.
Okay.
Yo, so yeah, GTA 6 May 2026. We're looking for that. Be looking out for that release, and hopefully maybe they'll put out a gameplay trailer this year or something like later on. That'd be kind of cool. But you know, with Rockstar, you never know. But enough of GTA 6. We gotta wait until next year. Chandler. We got some
Xbox,
crazy
man.
news from Xbox, man. What's going on?
Xbox, dude. Can I just say, there are Xbox Bros still around. They do exist. They were thought to be an extinct species and stuff, but they exist. I don't have an Xbox. I know you don't. I know Chris doesn't. But apparently they still sell, but not as much as a PS5 or a Switch does, or building your own PC. I mean, which that's expensive, but they have this idea because of the tariffs, because of our economy right now, that they should just increase the prices in their consoles and their games and their electronics and stuff. And I'm like, who's buying this? Who's gonna buy like a losing console? Like, that's like if the Sega Dreamcast like jumped their prices up, dude. And that was like considered like one of, if not the worst selling console of all time. The number one worst console of all time that's ever sold, I do believe, was the Virtual Boy, where it was like VR and everything was in red by Nintendo. But that's a story from another time. But yeah, they're increasing their prices by several hundreds of dollars for like their consoles, and then for like their games are gonna go up for like $80 to like $90, which, I mean, I'm just like, they're just following what Nintendo's doing right now with like their physical copies and like their games and whatnot. So it's interesting. And also too, like, on a side note, they're porting a bunch of their exclusives. Like, we recently got an announcement for the Gears of War like remaster or Reloaded, which is like the remaster of the first game getting ported to PS5, which, I mean, they're a dying brand. They're not, if they're making a handheld, but if they're really going to make another console, nobody's gonna buy it. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's out of the waters, man. So yep.
Do you think it's because surely like Xbox, is Phil Spencer still over there?
Yes,
he left a long time.
he still runs it. And it's funny, not to cut you off, David, but it's funny because people, when Phil Spencer first came into power, it sounds like he's a dictator, but when he first came into power, he was very, very well liked because he introduced the idea of Game Pass, which has been very successful and such, which nowadays gets criticized because it's like, how do you distribute the revenue from that subscription service to all these games? Like, what is, like, which game gets like what amount every month or so? It's just one of those things. But yeah, Phil Spencer is he dresses like a gamer. Like, it's almost parasitic how he approaches like the fan base, because it's like it's like almost like he's trying to be a part of like your social circle and such. Like, he dresses like a gamer, he talks like a gamer and such, but he's ultimately a businessman. At first part, he's ultimately a businessman. But Xbox, again, like, they thought it was a great idea to buy all these different like studios and publishers. Like, the big one was the Activision Blizzard one, which that was billions of dollars, which that has not really paid well at all, because we got the Oblivion remaster on PS5 and such, which that should have been exclusive to the Xbox, but alas, nobody buys Xboxes, and they're increasing. Go ahead, bro.
I think you're making a very good point. I think that is a very strange. I wonder what their thought process is.
I don't know.
To buy the Activision, I mean, to buy all these Activision Blizzard, all this stuff, and then to look, I understand it. Game Pass is incredible. It's a monthly subscription, and I don't know how they distribute it to the developers and these studios or whatever. I don't know how they do that, but it is an incredible value to the players, right? And I felt like, to me, we have talked about this in private. I felt like, to me, they were going to, like, Xbox was going to dominate the Netflix spectrum of video games. They were going to become the streaming, which I was like, that's a crazy and incredible, and it seems absolutely valid path for them, being that the Xbox sold so horribly compared to the PlayStation. And I was like, okay, cool, get out of the war.
Yep.
Go make the best streaming software you have. Like, make it valuable for both players and for developers. Go do that. And then when they bought that stuff, I was like, okay, cool. Maybe the play is to buy these huge. I mean, they have the rights of Call of Duty,
Yeah.
right? It's like, that is huge. So it's like, buy that, cool, and then make it exclusive to Xbox is what I thought they were going to do, and then run up the sales of their consoles, because Call of Duty players are insane, and there's so many of them. They're going to buy an Xbox if it's the only platform it's available on. But instead, what they did was like, no, we're going to make games for all platforms still. And then I thought, okay, cool, they're for the players, like, power to the players, right? That's Xbox whole like motto. I was like, cool, they're for the players. I actually rock with that. Like, but then they raised the price of the Xbox.
Yeah. Just
And it's
like
already
that.
not selling. It's like, oh, okay, so you guys are just playing hopscotch. You guys are just shooting a basketball and missing every shot. It's like, I don't understand. You don't need to be as business savvy as Phil Spencer to understand that doesn't work economically.
Nope.
It doesn't make sense. You're saying that I have no reason to buy your console, because I can get all your games that you make on my PlayStation, which is a way better console, more affordable, and has a bigger player base.
Yeah.
Am I the crazy one?
Yeah.
I just don't get it, man. And look, I used to have an Xbox, and I still love their controller. I love a lot of things about Xbox. I love the way that they handle online. Like, the controller's still, like, you can play a controller for 14 hours straight, and that thing doesn't hurt your hands. The PlayStation one, I feel like I just got put into a 16th century hand torture machine after I played that for 14 hours. And it's like, I'm saying all this to say that Xbox has good traits, but they're just doing anyways, I almost said something a little bit too far, because, like, I don't want to do that. But, like,
Yeah.
when are we going to start Xbox, when are we going to start, like, playing hard, or just playing for everyone else? Like, when are we going to start going, okay, cool, like, we're making exclusives, like PlayStation? Look, I love PlayStation, but they're jerks.
Yeah.
But they sell consoles.
Mm-hmm.
They sell consoles, they sell games, they make good stuff. Nintendo, jerks. You better not stream a single Nintendo game on Twitch or something. They're going
Copyright.
to sue you for $400 million.
Yeah.
It's like, they're going to charge $90 for their games, but Nintendo, they're playing hardball, and they know that people love their games. They're doing it. Xbox is just like, all right, here's an idea. Let's just see what happens. That's what it feels like. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I definitely, if I was Phil, I'd go, hey guys, let's discontinue the Series X or whatever. I also don't remember all the games or all the console names.
I don't
Let's
either.
discontinue that.
No idea.
Yeah, because it's like, not to cut you off, bro, but it's like,
You're good.
the way they, like, branded every single new console, like, what's, like, the order? Like, what's, like, the order? Like, it makes no sense. Like, I know they're trying to be different from PlayStation and Nintendo. Nintendo just outright just, like, makes an entirely new, like, console without the same name, like the GameCube, the Wii, the Switch. Now they're coming out with the Switch 2, but, like, PlayStation, they do by numbers. Xbox does, like, I don't know.
Series.
Yeah, it's like Series. It used to be like
Xbox One is actually the third one.
Yeah, it's the third one, that's a story on its own. That branding was so bad. It was so bad. And then 360, that's when they truly dominated. But after that, I have
360 was the best console at the time.
Yeah, it beat
The Xbox 360 was amazing.
Yeah, like
the best thing they ever did.
Yeah, the greatest thing they've ever done, man. I mean, but what's funny is, like, I told this to Chris, but if you look at, like, total units sold, PS3 actually outsells the Xbox 360 by like 1 million more copies. That's insane. Like, it's in like the PS3, when it came out, it had a disastrous launch. That's a story for another time. But that like everybody thought, oh, this is like the downfall of Sony and their brand for PS, like the PlayStation, but it wasn't. And they actually like rebuttal or like pivoted and like actually like started selling units at a faster speed and a more consistent speed with with the 360. But in history, like if history shows that the PS3 actually outsold the 360, so it's just like crazy almost. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just crazy. But now, what is the new Xbox Series OX? What is it? I don't know. Like,
What I think, this is just me. I don't know anything about selling consoles or anything, right? I know basic supply and demand, but I feel like if Xbox really wants to stay in the console war or game or just in the business in general, like I think that if I was them, I'd be like, okay, cool, we're going to discontinue our at-home consoles.
mm-hmm.
We have a streaming software that you can download online, right? Let's build a very robust portable Switch like Xbox thing. Let's come out with an Xbox Switch essentially. And we're going to, because if you go into Game Pass and you see what they're delivering at that platform, a lot of those games are cheeky. A lot of those games are like, they're Animal Crossing alternatives. And there's a giant. It's called cozy games, and there's a giant niche for that. And so I think that if Xbox wants to deliver that, because look, probably the deals that are being made on the back end from these large development third party or sorry AAA games, it's probably hard to make a deal for them to get, for you to get access to the game for $10 a month. It's probably hard. But if they want to do that, if they want to go that route, okay, supply that within the Xbox store on your online store, right? So people can play it on their PC because that's Microsoft. And then come out with a console that competes with the Switch, and you start to use your, because like think about Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, that was an Xbox Switch, Xbox portable exclusive. Sea of Thieves is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're in the same game playing field as Nintendo. And so I think that if they're going to be in the console war, they're not competing with PlayStation, bro. And look, I don't want a monopoly with PlayStation, but like no one's competing with them, man.
Nope.
No one's doing it.
No. I mean, it's either Nintendo, PlayStation, or PC now. Really, truly, and like when you think about it, they're all three uniquely different like devices. I say devices, but uniquely different devices where the Switch can be a home console, but it can also be like a handheld. The PlayStation is just a console, and PC, PC Master Race, which you get like you can build out a PC which you can get like the max graphics, 4K resolution, all that stuff. So it's like you have three distinctly different like IPs essentially. So yeah.
Yeah, totally, man. I think it's an uphill battle for Xbox. It's going to quickly start going downhill, and I think eventually we're going to see like they're going to have to discontinue the unless they come out with a crazy console next time. And even then, though, it's like for the last 10, like when the PS5 come out,
The PS5, I think it came out 2020. I think it came out
2020, so
2020,
like the
bro.
last 5 years, like there's been a culture shift. Like all the memes and stuff, all the like if you go on, if there's any like body making gaming memes or anything like that, it's always like for example, you always like, yo, my girl said she's gonna get me a PS5. Like there's like that whole like funny, goofy like joke about your girl getting you a PS5, like she's a real one. It's
Yeah.
like no one's saying that my girl's getting me an Xbox. Like
No.
it's not culturally
No, they'll
prominent.
break
You
you
know
up,
what I mean?
bro. Like that's
Yeah,
yeah.
if my girl got me an Xbox, bro, like I'm gonna be like,
We need to see other people. Like
yeah,
something
I
like
think
that.
I think we need to take a break.
We need to take a break. We need to go to counseling right now. So
Yeah, exactly. It's
like
like who you
stuff like
playing that
that,
with?
bro.
Not me.
Yeah.
No, but no, I think I just think that they're not meeting the quota, bro. They're not meeting the quota,
No.
and I want them to because every great competition means great art.
Yep.
So if they came out with great consoles and great games to compete with PlayStation, that means the PlayStation is going to be like, okay, cool, we got to do better, and they're going to make good stuff. And so I hope that they do that. But for now, I'm like, I see no foresight into that.
Yeah.
And I don't see any puzzle pieces that are going to fit into that. So, all right, guys, dude, Xbox, get your stuff together. We'd love to see it. I'm gonna keep playing PlayStation until they do so,
Yep.
and PC. But I wanted to jump into our next segment here called Save File. And if you're new, which you all are because it's our first episode, this is a segment in which we talk about the games we've been playing recently. A couple. If you are interested in jumping in, we'll add everything in the description so you can check it out. Because one thing about us is we're very different players. So Chandler, I know Chandler likes to play he'll play anything from AAA to turn-based games, and then I personally like to play story games, and on the channel I play horror indie games, and then we have, Chris likes to play he plays like games that like hentai and stuff in it, and so we. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I got
No, I'm joking. No, Chris, actually, what do you like to play, bro? Because I know we really bond over Last of Us and stuff, but like, what have you been playing recently? What do you like to play?
You and I, David, are definitely pretty similar. I love a good horror game. Latest horror game I've been playing is Still Wakes the Deep. Not that new. It's probably a couple years at this point. I feel like, I'm sure it's one of those you can interpret a lot from as these monsters are appearing throughout the rig, and we're being shown like the character's internal struggle as well as dealing with like this external. And I feel like, I'm sure they're telling us that they are, similar and meshing, and one represents the other. And it's interesting to see you progress, and I feel like can also make like having a journey through something kind of get boring after a while. And it's nice how they keep introducing different levels of like the oil rig, because you forget how huge an oil rig actually is. So they have a lot of location you can explore. And, obviously things get worse the further down you have to go and the further you have to go through the story and try to escape. But I liked that it felt very real, authentic, and you can tell it's a game that was made with passion at the studio. So yeah, I would highly recommend that if you're a horror gamer, especially. And then, ironically, before the GTA 6 announcement, I had been playing the Vice City and San Andreas
Oh, really?
Hell yeah, dude.
What are they called? Definitive editions.
Got you.
Nice.
And then they announced GTA 6. I'm like, oh, that kind of times out well, actually. Those have just been on my list. I hadn't played the definitive versions yet, especially after apparently they fixed all the bugs they had. So it's been nice going back to that. I did Vice City, finished that. Playing San Andreas now. Nice throwback, lots of memories. Obviously, come back with those. It's a nice reminder to see, like, how much GTA has given us and progressed at the same time. Like, I feel like each one gets better almost. And so yeah, it's been fun getting back into that. I felt it gave me even more excitement for GTA 6. See, every game, how much they've gotten better. I feel like there's never been a bad GTA. They just make each one better and better. So it makes me curious to see what they'll do with GTA 6. But yeah, that's been those have been my main ones at the moment.
Nice.
Oh, and Chandler and I are avid hell divers too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
We love a good hell diving.
David, we could use you, bro.
Hell divers at this point.
We need a
I know.
fourth.
I bought that game and played it once and haven't picked it up. I played it once with you guys that one time and haven't picked it up again.
It was
I need to hop
amazing.
in there.
It was
I
amazing.
need to hop in there. That was fun, dude. It was a cool game. It feels like the game that deserves success too. It feels like a cool game that with
It does. It's easily one of the best games out now and one of my favorites ever.
Yeah.
That's another, you can tell how much they care about it and how much detail they put into it.
Yeah.
How much it's evolved since it first came out. And there's a reason it's winning awards and it's so popular. And we've been playing it for hundreds of hours at this point, and I'm still not bored of it whatsoever.
No. And I'll jump in every so often, like me, Chris, and our buddy Randy, a friend of Chris's. We have this text group, and they're like, "Hey, we're hell diving channel. You want to join?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm coming, dudes. I'm coming." So I'll jump in for a match or two and stuff. So you don't have to play for long, but it's funner with friends. I'll say that it is much funner when you know people that you're playing with as opposed to just playing with strangers and whatnot. Can I just say this relates to Helldivers, but can I just say Helldivers 2 is a success story in terms of just a small developer creating a AA game that's really successful and also just doing live service right. They do live service really well, and it's not like microtransactions. There's almost none of that. It's just plain and simple. So it's great. Great. So
I need to play it more, bro. I need to. It is. I know I've heard it's a good game. I know I played it once and it was really fun. I need to get good at it so it's even funner. Like, I know when you start to understand how the game works, it probably gets a lot more fun too. But yeah, Chandler, what else you been playing, bro?
Dude, so I recently just completed Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. What a fantastic game. Also, the same guys who developed the new Wolfenstein games, which I don't know if y'all have played that, but it's basically a guy who kills Nazis. Who wouldn't love that, you know? And it's like from an older like franchise back in the 90s when, you know, id Software pretty much revolutionized the first person shooter genre and pretty much invented it, honestly, but with Doom and Wolfenstein. So it's great. But the Great Circle, like, you feel like you're in like a movie. You feel like you're Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones is voiced by Dre Baker, same guy who did Joel Miller and Booker DeWitt and like a bunch of other characters and stuff. So I could not tell that it wasn't Harrison Ford. I'll just say that he's an incredible voice talent. You just feel like you're in the movies, honestly. You feel like you're in like one of the Indiana Jones adventures, you know? The way they just like do like, because it's like zone open world with some like chapters where it's super linear and stuff, and you just in there and they're like really short, but like there's like 3 open world like zones that you can travel to and such, which one's in Egypt, one's in the Vatican, and the other one's in like the jungles of Thailand. And they're all great. They're all well designed, and you can like, you know, disguise yourself as like an enemy or like just a pedestrian or a villager, and you can just sneak around that way. And there's just different aspects about the game that makes you feel like you're in the movies, and that's, I feel like, was the one thing that the developers was trying to get, was to be Indiana Jones in like a movie, essentially, like what he would do and such. And they also have like a really cool way of doing like skill trees and such, and like learning new skills where you find books in the world, in the open world, and you learn them via like adventure points and such, which you can gather via taking pictures, doing like side quests and such, and like finding new discoveries. And you just upgrade your character by just reading books and learning new things, because, you know, it's like the 1930s. There's no technology, there's no like, you know, computers and such. It's just reading and gathering. So it's a great game. It's a great game, and it's super short too. I say super short, but it's like a 20-ish hour experience. But
super short for you.
Yeah.
You played Death Stranding, and like that game is, it's like, it's super long, super visually pleasing, but it can be very quiet at times.
It's like a 40-hour game, bro. Like, it's a 40-hour experience,
Chandler
bro.
Can play that, dude. I know you're a beast at that stuff, dude. Yeah, I'm actually on the Vatican part of that, and I haven't gotten through that yet because.
Oh, you've been playing?
Yeah, I'm on the. I haven't gotten through it yet just because I had it on Game Pass, actually. Speaking of, and I took a break for a little bit so I can focus on some stuff I wanted to play on the channel. But you're right, it feels awesome, and I didn't realize you can go to 3 open world areas, and now that I know what the Vatican feels like, I'm like, okay, I cannot wait to go to Egypt and Thailand. So
Egypt's like my favorite, bro. It's so massive, dude, and
really?
Like, yeah, and like the pyramids, you can actually go towards the pyramids. It's fantastic, like it's awesome. So it's
awesome.
It is, dude. It is.
Well, dude, that's a cool one. I know that one's really is like one. That's the one of those from Xbox. I wish they would have just made it exclusive. And honestly, I'm glad I get to play it, but I wish they would have made it exclusive for their own sake. I've actually been playing Split Fiction a lot, and my friend George here on the channel, or Jorge, he likes to be called by different names, but I've been playing Split Fiction with him, and it'll be coming out soon, by the way, here on the channel. It's my first time doing a long play, and it's exceptionally difficult because I've never played a 14-hour game on the channel, and it's quite difficult because I see other people do that, and it's like they release the full game, and I'm like, how are they doing that? Because I don't have 14 hours just to be sitting and playing games, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I think those people, and then I realized, oh yeah, they do it as a full-time job, so that makes sense, and I don't. So I'm playing it in sections despite the game coming out 2 months ago. So I'm still gonna play it. Something I really enjoyed, and those guys over there make the best games. The same creators of It Takes Two and A Way Out. It's the best co-op game I've ever played ever, I think. Right up there with Super Mario Odyssey, and it is very well made. It's super well optimized. This is a team that really cares about the players. There's a lot of homages in the game to different franchises, such as Harry Potter, different animes, there's so many different game styles. It's you get the essence of you get the essence of gaming in one game, and it's really cool, and I love that. And so, and it's always a good story. It's always a good story. It's great, and so if you guys get a chance to play that, play it. We're going to be out on the channel first. Other than that, I've been playing all these horror games, which you can check out on the channel. I play a lot of different stuff. I try to put out at least 3 videos a week. And man, I'll tell you right now, man, there's some good stuff coming out right now. I'm doing Death Delivery soon, Order 13 soon. I did Cosmic Fear a couple days ago, and then before that I did Missing Hiker. And the truth is, man, I'm really getting hooked to these cozy kind of VHS horror game things. I like them a lot. I will say this: if you didn't see the video where I played Burial, where I locked myself in my car for I slept there in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, and played what I found to be quite unsettling of a game called Burial, where it's a VHS inspired horror game, a wreck body cam inspired horror game, and it is pretty terrifying. And when you add the addition of being in the car in the middle of nowhere and nothing around you except for the sound of nature and potential tornado, because we're in Kansas, it really spooks you out. So
Oh wow.
I recommend it if you're into horror. If you want to play something that will make your balls drop, that'll be the game for you.
Is it for PlayStation or just for Steam?
It's on Steam.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on consoles at all. I play all the games here on the PC, but yeah, cool stuff coming up on the channel, guys. Look, I think that's enough news for us today. I think we've covered all the big ones. Man, you know what? Like 2026 is gonna be crazy. 2025 is kind of a jump year for me. 2026 is gonna be crazy. There's gonna be lots of cool stuff coming out. We have a lot of stuff coming out on this channel with us. This will be a weekly situation in terms of the podcast. So we'll come out on the channel here with the homies, and I hope you guys keep listening and watching it. But without further ado, until next time, peace.
See ya.